Guys, today we are capping off the month of Magnus with the brand new SS-86 Commander Class Ultra Magnus. And here he stands in all of his majesticness or whatever. And it's awesome. This toy is completely awesome. I don't own any other commanders, and I'm just going to say, I'm not going to say that he's better, but I'm just going to say it. If you like Ultra Magnus, get this toy. And if you just want a good, solid toy, get him. Because this toy is awesome. And just, we'll talk about it. So, obviously, this is truck mode. And it looks pretty good. And this guy is very similar to the Combiner Wars toy. So it was this is just a shrunk down masterpiece, basically. Just like what I said about the Combiner Wars one with this, is that it's basically a shrunk down version of the masterpiece. So yeah. So his guns we'll talk about a little bit later, so I'm going to put those off the side. We're going to take a look at this. So, I'm going to take a look at the cab first. I think you do that. It can come off like the masterpiece and almost every Magnus before. And so, yeah. This is like some silver paint. It's very faint silver paint, and it just doesn't show up too well against the white. Some transparent windows. You can see all the junk in there, but I don't really care. You can see that, like, right there, there's some paint chipping, and there is a bit of paint chipping and some QC stuff on mine, but it does not ruin the figure by any means. You can see his head right there. If you know how the masterpiece transforms, you can already see how the cab transforms. Obviously, there's that big hole right there, and the smokestacks are a little skimpy, I guess, but I don't really care. It rolls super well, and with the trailer, just plug it on, and it rolls marvelously because the awesome pinned wheels you can see, and he articulates a little bit, not as good as some of his predecessors, but he still does articulate. On my copy, I can't get this to close up. But and you can see kind of like a smudge. I don't know if that was for me and my dirty hands, but I can't really get it off, but no, I don't really care. It's not that big a deal. So yeah. So obviously he can do the whole car carrier thing. He can flip these down, and then you can untab these and to do that. And obviously, like a lot of Ultra Magnuses, this is too blunt or too aggressive that nothing can get up it. But just the fact that the feature exists and you can still do it on this toy is still good in my personal opinion. And the missiles, obviously they can come off, they can go back on, like so. And unfortunately, you can't put them up front like on the masterpiece, and they're not on armatures, they just come off. But almost every other Ultra Magnus has done it that way, so I don't really care. And I really, really like this alt mode. It looks so nice. It's detailed enough, and it's cool enough that it doesn't look like bleak and weird, but just like pure enough to still give off, the real world vibe, but also the cartoon vibe. I like the style of it. I'm a really big fan. So I'm gonna take this off the cab off the trailer really quick to show you this. So mine, you can see those tabs right there. They are super stressed, and I did end up filing them down on both of mine. And the ankle tilt, if you don't understand, these are going to be his feet, but the ankle tilt just doesn't close up on mine. Just there's always this gap, and there's a little gap right there, but I'm not going to complain. This is still an awesome figure. And all I did with those, I just took a little nail file and filed just the tiniest little bit down. They are a little loose now, but I know that that's not going to break. And MGO, I watched his video on this guy, and he had the same stress marks happening on this side. So yeah. But overall, other than that, those two things, just that little stress mark and I can't remember, and the gap of the ankle tilt. Mine did, obviously, as I said, it came with some paint chips. Obviously, this might have been from just me transforming it, but I know this one was not from me, and I think there's another one somewhere. But me personally, I don't I do not complain about paint chips. It doesn't hurt the figure by any means. Yeah, it is a little disappointing, but it does not tear this figure down for me personally. So yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for the alt mode. So let's jump into the transformation. So I'm gonna take these off. And so on mine, so on this toy, it's like the masterpiece. You can transform him with the cab, you can transform it with the cab still attached, like the masterpiece and the Combiner Wars one. But mine isn't very strong, so it's a little annoying. But I've just learned to just have to transform the cab separately because I can do it, but the toy doesn't like it. It's not a big fan of it. It's not a very solid connection on mine. I don't know why it's on mine, but I'm not gonna complain. It's still a genius transformation, and I have been able to do it. Just it's a whole lot easier and less stressful, in my personal opinion, to do it like that. But I will try to transform it like that just to show off that it does do it. And so yeah, let's jump in. So I'm gonna work on the legs first. So I'm gonna come to these panels right here, and I'm going to, I'll move these out of the way just so I can access them better. And that will just flip down, and we can swing that one around. And same thing on this side. Flip that in and around. Fold this panel up, and there we go. We got all that done, and if you want to, you can do this part right now. That little crotch plate, whatever you want to say. And we'll just fold these panels in now. And so yeah. So we'll disconnect these right now, and we will swivel them up. And I love the ratchets on this toy. They're nice and crisp. So now, see right there, just came off. And even if that's in the articulated mode, and even if I compress it, it still kind of wants to undo itself. But we'll manage just so I could show off the fact that he can transform like that. So this is like a double hinge, and it will hinge and tab in, and that just slightly extends the leg like so. Same thing on this side. Do that, and now, I like to do this now. These wheels move ever so slightly up. So from this little white piece being angled down, it's now straight. So the wheels are not contacting the feet anymore. So yeah. It's a step that's kind of necessary, and it can be very forgettable, and you just have to fiddle with it because the tab just doesn't really line up, but that's okay. And this tabs and untabs this plate. You can see there's stress marks right there, but once again, I don't really care, and it's still an awesome toy no matter what. So these pieces, slide them forward and down. Same thing, slide them forward and down. And just close that up, and you can see there's a little tab thing, and just push it. Just push it in, and now you just do this side, push it in, and it just locks it, like so. So now I'm just gonna set him right there and raise the camera a little bit. And now we're going to split the arms exactly like almost every other Ultra Magnus, and you can see that they're a little loose now because they did that, but we'll just move those. So with this, you have to raise this up so you can access this piece, this midriff piece, and that's what just happened. So now since it's out, we can just compress this back down, or it's already compressed down, sorry, and move that down, and now we can swivel this plate around. Dang it, no we can't, we gotta do it. Did it wrong, and now I'm being punished for it because I have to redo it, and now just my cab just doesn't stay on very well. I know MGoes did. I watched his video on it, and his cab did stay on. So that is probably just my copy specifically. And we'll raise it up a little bit more. And now we'll deal with the arms. So these are really tight on mine, these little tab pieces right here. So I just like to wiggle it a little bit, and they just undo themselves because I can't get my finger in there and just pry them out. I'll just wreck my fingernails. So I just like to wiggle it, and it hasn't chewed up the slot or the tabs or anything. So, and just flatten those out. And now you'll swivel this around, compress that, and now you'll open up this, hinge it back, and close it. And now you can swivel the arm around and compress all of this. So there's one arm all done, and now we have the other one to do, and we'll just do this, hinge that up, just go like that, and now we can, oops, almost forgot to this step, and compress the arm, and just compress all that, get it all tight, and now we can work on the cab. So raise it up a little bit higher so you can see. So undo this. I'm just going to move his angle his arms a little bit. So swivel that around, hinge them around, and now we can split this, fold that in, and now before you go fold those in, fold that around like so. And now I just like to angle the smokestacks. It just helps whenever you fold everything down. So now we'll straighten this out. Just straighten that out. And now we'll come to this little, try to show you guys. So I'll just flip this up, but see that little panel? We'll fold this back, or we need to fold the wheels in, and now you fold this up, and now this, wait a minute, this comes down, this goes down, this goes down, and now you can finally push these in line, and now that will snap in, that will snap in, those will snap in, and now straighten the arms back out, and now these will clasp those so it can't move like that. Now you can fold the head up, you can bring in the missiles like that and like that, and there we have Ultra Magnus. I apologize with the whole cab stuff and all that. Just with mine, since it doesn't really stay too well, is just a little bit better to just move the camera back just a touch. And it's just a little annoying for mine because the cab just likes to fall off, but it's okay. And here we have Magnus. He looks spectacular. He's big. He's hefty. He does everything right. He, because he's smaller, he got the proportions a bit better from the Masterpiece, and because he has a higher budget than Leader, he can be heavier than the Combiner Wars one, and because of his modern engineering, he can have better articulation than the Combiner Wars one. He's G1 accurate. He literally mixes the Masterpiece with the Combiner Wars and mashes it together to create this. A decently small scaled size with like a mainline scale. Sorry, I'm just like, my brain isn't working, with the masterful engineering and the heft, the posability, the articulation, the looks, everything about this toy is awesome. And so yeah, just everything about it. Obviously, you can see... no, never mind. You can't see the paint chips. I think it's somewhere around here, but this toy, it does everything right, and it's awesome. Just... it has plentiful accessories. It has 2 guns. I think this is the one from the shuttle whenever they crash on Junkion, and obviously this is his regular gun that he has. And because his hands are just 5mm ports, he can hold them, and they're also posable. This guy, he does everything right. So I'll try to do this in a semblance of order. So he has the Matrix gimmick, and these are spring-loaded. I love that. Finally a spring-loaded gimmick in how many years. I love it. I don't like to give him that Matrix because it's just so small, so I have this die-cast one from Masterpiece, I think Rodimus, or not Rodimus, Hot Rod. It's not, he still can't fit it in his hands, but it definitely scales a touch better, even though it's still a little small. So if I put him in a pose with a Matrix, I use that one. And so I love the spring-loaded gimmick. I love the fact that he has a good amount of accessories, but not a bunch, with the 2 guns and his missiles, obviously. And the missiles, as I probably showed, can come off. And then he has blast effects. This one, these ones, and then an extra one of these because it's the Omega Supreme one. Their blast effects, I don't really care. I don't really use them, but just the fact that he has them is good. He has, obviously, his chest gimmick. He has a decent amount of accessories. He has nice stiff ratchets like this. This is a concern of mine, that this is just a friction joint, and it's pretty small, that if I give him this big gun, the big gun, he can't hold his arm up. This arm, this other arm, can, I'm pretty sure. He can hold it pretty good. But with this gun, at least, he can hold it, I'm pretty sure, because it's just light enough that he can do some poses in it. If you probably bump him, he probably won't, but that is a little bit of a concern. I wish they could have done something a bit better, but still, once again, I'm not going to complain about it because he's still really good. He has, obviously, a bicep swivel. He has a light ratchet, or a ratcheted elbow, which gives has the nice clickiness, the nice soft clickiness, but it also offers posability. The wrists are a little difficult due to his, like, cuffs. The fingers, the 3 fingers are stuck together, and then a trigger finger like MP10, which I really like. I like that addition. Unlike the Combiner Wars one, he has a nice stiff waist joint. He has legs, and then obviously you can move this, and he basically has the same, but you can move it out of the way of some of the sculpting. You can still get a pretty straight kick. You can go that far, and then you can move this even further and get a super nice back. Move that skirt out of the way, it can go out. Thigh swivel. He has knee, and you only gain basically 1 click if you undo that transformation joint, and then you have a decent amount of pivot, so he can get a decently wide stance like that. And something that I have utilized quite a bit in my time of messing with this guy is if you undo... Oh, I better raise this up for you. If you undo these, you have a butterfly joint with this hinge joint, and then you can get an even deeper butterfly joint if you undo that. And if you play it just right, you could probably do it. Obviously, that looks a little unnatural, especially for his like large body type. It looks kind of out of place, but if you need it, you have it. And then his head is very expressive, can look up super far due to transformation, can look down. Obviously, as head swivel, can tilt really well and is very expressive. And he does have beautiful light piping. It's clear, and I think it utilizes either a thin piece of blue, transparent blue, or a piece of foil. I don't know. I can't see in there, but I'm not going to take it apart. It's not that important to me. But either way, it looks beautiful, as you can see on camera, especially with my sunlight up there. And so yeah, just everything about it, the articulation, the gimmick, and then you can also do the blown apart gimmick, and like that. I'm not going to do the legs, I'm just going to do the arms because it's the exact same thing. It's similar to the Combiner Wars joint. I don't think it's the same. I think it's smaller or something. And either way, because this is a female end, you can only connect him to Combiner Wars torso. So, and you can connect only his limbs to Combiner Wars limbs. So, either way, it'd be kind of pointless if you wanted to and if they did fit. But you just compress this red piece and it goes in. It is a little bit more difficult putting it on, but it's still okay. And I was concerned about that. I was very concerned about that gimmick. I thought it was going to be like the Studio Series cup and be like some pegs or something. And I was sorely mistaken because I don't own cup, but I hear that due to the QC stuff of that toy, he typically like falls apart basically due to the pegs, just QC, and then just wearing out of doing it and playing with it, that he just basically falls to pieces because of that gimmick. And I'm very glad that they did a much sturdier version of that to make him be blown apart. I'm very happy with that. And so yeah, I'm very, very happy with that. Just the fact that they thought that through and they genuinely wanted to make this a good toy. I'm very, very happy because especially with the Siege toy, the Siege mold, he desperately needed a better toy, and I'm very glad that I got this one. So someone pointed out on my initial unboxing short, I don't know their name, I apologize, but the horns come separately. They are packed with the missiles and the weapons. They just come off. I'm not going to try to take them off, probably for shipping. But if you do not see the horns on, or antenna, whatever you want to call them, if you do not see them on this toy, whenever you open the box, be assured that they are not broken, they are not missing, they are inside the bag, the little tissue bag with the missiles and the guns. And I did not know this because I had experienced this mold basically, or the way he transforms with the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. I just transformed him and I understood how to do it. He's simple enough that I just pulled him out of the box, transformed him, and didn't need the instructions. So I didn't know that this existed. Straighten him out a little bit. That this existed. I think you put this gun on here, and then this gun. Oops, just dropped it. And then this gun right here, I think. Or maybe vice versa, I don't know. I did not know that till I watched MGo's video, but still, weapon storage is good, I like it. And so yeah, now I'm going to do some comparisons, and show off him with all the other Magnuses, and see where we've came. And I'm going to show off the box, show off him with the other Magnuses, and some other toys that he would scale with. So, I'll be back. Hey, so I'm back. I apologize, that edit was like super cringy. I apologize. I tried to do the whole like hand covering the camera thing, but it didn't work too well. So here's the box. I love the box. It is a little big in my personal opinion. You can see it does fit him. It fits him very well, but the box maybe could have been a little smaller. Maybe a little, but it's still a nice size. I was super surprised that it was this big. I didn't even know that he was going to be this big, but I'm going to move him off to the side so we can look at the box. So, the box, obviously, as everyone has probably seen, nice big picture of Ultra Magnus. Another picture of Ultra Magnus. All the gimmicks, the gimmicks and stuff. The tiny bio thing, Ultra Magnus, Transformers the movie with the shuttle, and just that. So yeah, I really like the box. I always keep all my boxes. There's only a couple that I don't keep, but that's okay. So yeah, so I'm going to show off him compared to my Earthrise Prime. This is the Netflix one, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, Ultra Magnus is kind of the same thing as the Masterpiece. The Masterpiece never scaled with really anything. He was just too big. And same thing with this guy. I don't think Ultra Magnus is truly this big in the G1 continuity. But I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care about scale. If you can give me a good toy, an awesome toy with gimmicks, with awesome articulation, has the heft, and make it worth $100 to me, I don't care about scale. I'm not going to complain about scale. And even my original Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus does not scale with him. And since he's here, here are my two favorite Ultra Magnuses and the two best Ultra Magnuses of the entire of all of them that I have. And here they are together. They look awesome together, and I should display them together. I think I will. But so yeah. So there's that. I'm sorry I jumped ahead, but here he is with Cyclonus. I just thought that it'd be a good see if he would scale with Cyclonus, and not really. They're about the same height in a G1, but once again, I don't care about scale. I'm not one of those scale people, so I'm going to go back. So here he is with our previous newest entry, or my newest entry of Ultra Magnus, and he's a leader, and he's a fairly decent leader, but he still doesn't compare to him. So yeah. We have our Voyager Ultra Magnus, and, you know, about the same. Doesn't really compare too much to the new one. Weaponizer, getting the Weaponizer one, and he stacks up pretty good to him. He is a bit taller, with his shoulders, but they're about the same height to the head, but with the shoulders, he is taller. So yeah. Showed off the Combiner Wars one, the animated one. They're about the same size, about the same heft as well. He might be a touch heavier. I wanted to pull out a scale and do all the weights of all these to see how things have changed over time. Nah, I forgot, but it's not that big a deal. But so yeah, there he is with the animated one, and obviously the RID one is going to dwarf him no matter what, because he's just a huge, tall toy. So yeah, there is him, and I think he might be a touch heavier. And now with the granddad of everyone, we have the G1 Ultra Magnus, and they look awesome together. They look so neat together. I'm gonna bring the camera in, and we'll just push them back a little. They look so good together. They're about the same height as well. So yeah, just really like it. So yeah, I'm gonna get them all set up, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this guy and the entire this entire month as a whole. So yeah. So here we are. Obviously, it's a bit crowded. You can barely see animated Ultra Magnus. You can see just the shoulders of the Weaponizer Ultra Magnus, but this is magnificent. This was so fun. I loved this whole month of doing just all the Ultra Magnuses that I own, and I love all these toys. I love every single toy out here, no matter what, from the bad to the good, to the awesome, I should say, from the old to the new, from different continuities, from different size classes, from different time periods. I love all of them, and I love them all. And obviously, the new one comes out on top easily. Everything about that toy is awesome. It takes every element from all these toys and blends them together. from every Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus is one of my favorite characters. I love all of these guys equally, but just I love the fact that you can see the history that has come and blended itself into the new one. I just love it. Just, it's an awesome toy. You could see my genuine reactions when I unboxed it on those shorts. It's just been a very fun time and a pleasure doing this entire month of these guys. It's just been very, very fun going through the years, going through all the toys. It's been a long time since I've actually sat down and transformed some of these guys, and it's just a joy to be able to talk about them, and share my opinions over all these guys. And I'm glad that it culminated with the best, probably the best toy of this year. Probably the best toy of this year. And it's just awesome. It's just a very, very, very fun. It was a very fun thing. I very much enjoyed every bit of it. So yeah, I'm very I thank you for coming along and watching all these videos. So yeah, I'm just very, very happy to have done this. Very, very happy to have revisited the G1 and to have looked at all these other toys, whether it be bad or good, big or small, just, it was very, very fun. And just, I'm very, very happy that I got this guy so early, and he's such an awesome piece. I suggest you getting all these toys. You don't have to get them, but if you want just a dumb fun experience with all these toys and you love Ultra Magnus, I would get them. Especially the Combiner Wars and the new one, and obviously the G1. The G1 is just dumb fun. Everything else, I would still get it, but you don't have to. But to each their own. Just, it's been a blast doing this, especially coming back and looking at all of them. I'm just repeating myself, but I highly, highly, highly recommend the new Commander class. $100 is a bit of an eye-watering price for basically an old leader, as you can see, since animated and the new Commander stand basically the same height. But it's awesome. You don't miss anything. You don't miss anything. It's an awesome toy for its price, and I don't regret spending the money. And I haven't ever regretted spending the money above that. Like, I don't regret him, and I don't regret getting any of my Titans. So just go out and get it. I just love the toy, and I'm definitely looking forward to more Commanders down the line and getting the ones that are out, like the Armada Optimus Prime, Skylinks. I'm looking forward to mainly the Armada Prime because I just like Armada Prime. But he is a great introduction to the Commander class, price point, and I think I want to see more toys. I want to see more awesome toys like Ultra Magnus come from the Commander class size class. But just, it's been a very fun time doing this. I'm very, very happy that you guys have come along to watch it, and especially over a month, because I only do about 3 to 4 videos a month, but we've done 8. So yeah, I am a little disappointed that I couldn't do the full 9 Mondays and Fridays of October, but I'm missing just one. I was looking at either the Fall of Cybertron, Generations Ultra Magnus, or the Titanium one, but even though they're only like $20, I don't feel like spending that money right now. But it's still just a blast to have looked at all of these. So yeah, and I'm very happy that we ended off with a high. That this toy does have a couple little QC issues, but just the tiniest little ones. But other than that, it's a masterpiece, and that's what I think Ultra Magnus deserves. He got the short end of the stick in the movie, but he still comes out, in my personal opinion, with the better Commander class toy, even though I don't own the Rodimus. With expert engineering, massive heft and size, you feel like you're getting your money's worth with every penny of this toy. So yeah, I'm very glad that you guys tuned in and that I got to look at all these guys. So yeah, I'll probably do some shorts next time, not full videos. I don't know. I'll think about it. I don't know. But that's basically all I have to say about Ultra Magnus, 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 Ultra Magnus. That's basically all I have to say about all these guys. So, till next time, see ya.